Here we are. Now, this is a video that I did not expect to make at all. Now, this is years, and I mean years in the making. Let's go ahead and take a few steps back and look back to the reveal of the GT500. Now it was January of 2019. All of us were just hyping about this car for so long because we saw the teasers and the leaks here and there. I was just super pumped up about it. And if you were following the channel back then, you would know how many videos we would put out just talking about like predictions of what it would be like. It was such an exciting time. I really did want to see this car in person after all these years of waiting, coming from a 2014 GT500, even an R, because I know just how amazing the GT350s are. They are phenomenal cars on track, so much fun. So having an R, I just told myself, you know what, I gotta get the new 500, because if it truly is based on the 350 platform, knowing how well those cars can corner, but then add a supercharger on top, make it have a ton more horsepower, the car would be next level on the racetrack. That's just the truth, right? Because the R is unbelievable, but imagine a faster, higher horsepower version of that car with more downforce, etc. So I finally made it out to Detroit, Michigan for the reveal. I witnessed them lower it from the ceiling, also pull one out. And one of the first reveal colors that I saw was this right behind me, Ford Performance Blue with white stripes. And that was what made me get hooked on it. I just knew, I'm like, that color looks so good. It's not like a normal blue. It's got more of a steel tone to it. It's just different. I wanted this color combo for a GT500, and specifically in the track pack form, because my main intent was to track it. Let's just go ahead and fast forward. After chasing the 500 across the country, going to Scottsdale, seeing it get auctioned off, and then also going to the Shelby Bash, filming the first one, driving around, you know, on the public streets next to a racetrack and everything. It was super exciting. I eventually got hooked on the thought of a dual clutch, and from there, I really did want to try to secure one. From there, I just told myself, I gotta get this car. I gotta find a way to get this car. I literally picked up the phone and I called hundreds of dealerships, well, thousands of dealerships across the country. I think I'd pull up Google Maps and then typed on Ford dealerships of Idaho. And then I would just look at the map and then call each and every single one. I mean, I spent weeks on this, months on this. Over time, I finally was able to secure an allocation, and I was just super grateful about that. I was super excited because it wasn't just any allocation, it was a double golden ticket allocation for the exact car I wanted. So order banks opened up in July. I placed my order down for this exact car right behind me. This is a car I ordered well over a year ago. And then from there, the waiting just continued. From there, I attended the press reveal over there in Las Vegas. They had the car on the drag strip and also the racetrack, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I finally got to experience it very briefly, very briefly, but I was hooked on it. However, though, there was a catch. I was told by Ford our car could not be built before the winter production shutdown. And if you don't know this, Ford actually shuts down production of all Shelby Mustangs during the winter months. That's because the Cup 2 tires, the way they're designed is that they can't survive freezing ice cold temperatures of Michigan. They're super sticky and soft with the compound. There are compound tires. And as you know, they aren't made for all season. They're summer only tires. Unfortunately, our car didn't make the cut because I believe, from what I'm told, they didn't have enough carbon wheels or enough carbon wings available, so our car was actually pushed to be a spring production vehicle. And since then, I've been trying to do everything I possibly can to get one of these cars. The journey so far has been unbelievable. We also secured a handling pack GT500. I still can't believe we did that. I flew all the way out to Detroit, Michigan on Thanksgiving Day. Then on Black Friday, we picked up our all-black GT500. Then from there, drove it all the way across the entire country, drag raced it, set the record at the time, and then from there, put on the dyno for the first time ever. Also weighed it, knowing that our track pack got delayed for so long. I really did want to give all of you the ultimate GT500 coverage, right? Because coming from Shelby's, I know how exciting all the variants are. Because in all reality, most people who are buying a GT500, they're going to be the handling packs or just a standard one made for the drag strip. So anyways, what I tried doing was that buying that car for the meantime, and then when it comes to spring, that's when I go ahead and sell the car for the track pack. However, though, our build date kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. So in the end of the day, we finally got the track package during beginning of October, late September, I think. So almost, actually over a year after I placed my order down for the vehicle. It was a very long wait. And during that time, all I was doing was imagining what this car would be like, because tracking the Handling Pack GT500, it was a lot of fun on the racetrack. However, though, I did have my complaints. It wasn't as hooked up as I'd like it to be, because it didn't have R compound tires. Plus, the rear wing in the back, there just wasn't enough downforce for the vehicle, I thought, to put down all that power. On the straightaways, though, it was amazing. It just kept going so fast. The power would never let up, and the DCT made the car handle so well on the racetrack. It really did. It was a really fun car for track use. And the best part was that owning the Handling Pack, it wasn't actually too much of a burden to track. The brake pads didn't go out at all, really, and then the tires were hard enough so that the tire wear wasn't substantial at all. When it comes to the track pack, they may be wondering, what's all different? Well, we get carbon fiber wheels for the less rotating mass. It does feel a bit lighter than the normal Handling Pack GT500s, at least in my opinion. I'm able to toss this around much better. Also, what's different is that the ride height is 0.6 of an inch lower all around the entire vehicle. And what's really cool is that you can see how the ride height actually looks, how the whole car sits. Look how this car sits over the rear wheels. So look at that fender gap right there. That is just so awesome. There's literally no gap between the fender and the rear tires. That is just so awesome. I think this car has got the best looking ride out of any Mustang out there, but the best stance. This was advertised as the ultimate Mustang ever made for the racetrack. It was advertised as having the same handling of a GT350R, but then imagine having all that extra horsepower. Plus, it's got the most downforce out of any Mustang ever produced. And it's got actual exposed carbon fiber wheels in the same rear wing of a GT4 race car, right? So that was just unbelievable. Plus, having the option of painted over the top stripes was just so cool, because I've always wanted to paint stripes, and it does finish off the car. It looks like the most expensive Mustang ever made. It looks apart. I love the way this car looks. Plus, with the white accents of the interior matching the white accents of the exterior, plus with the carbon fiber wheels, I mean, this spec was a perfect spec for me. It just screams heritage. I love this car behind me. It is so amazing. It blew me away. Taking delivery of it, I was super impressed, because having that much horsepower and that much grip, it just felt like, you know, I was a superhero. The car could do super things, right? Like a supercar. It is just such a good car that you can never, and I mean never, experience the limits of it on the street. And that's a fact. I mean, anyone who buys this car, when they first drive it, I'm like 99% sure they're going to think it is the greatest car ever made. Honestly, it doesn't drive or feel like a Mustang. It's so fast and such a high performer that it will blow, I think, almost everybody away. This comes to where I really do want to highlight. Now, when I buy these cars for the channel, I really like trying to showcase what the cars are like from an ownership perspective, and also what they're like on the racetrack. In all honesty, though, there really wasn't much information of how this car performs on the racetrack. There's the usual reviews that you find here and there by like some of the big magazine outlets, but there was an actual first-hand experience that wasn't prescribed by the manufacturer. The only information that we had were hot laps from like Randy Post, for example, at VIR, and then Chuck Walla. Really good times, by the way. But other than that, there wasn't really much out there. So I wanted to get this car and experience from the perspective of a GT350 owner what it would be like on the racetrack. So that is, again, another reason why I really did want to pursue this vehicle. I wanted to show all of you real world testing, not stuff put together in hero conditions. When it comes to hot laps put down by these amazing cars, by magazines, most of the time they have brand new tires. It's first thing in the morning, it's cool outside. However, in the real world, it's not like that. I want to know, if you buy this car and you love the track, what it would be like on the racetrack, how everyone else would experience this car. Not, you know, when there's no traffic in a special rented out location. No, if you bought this car, would you get the same enjoyment that you get out of a GT350? Also, is it confidence inspiring? And truly, how fast could it be? Is this really a supercar dominator? Those were the main reasons why I wanted to buy this car. And we finally got it. And then the first thing I did actually was not really drive it too much. After all these years of waiting, I didn't even put any miles on it, to be honest with you. The first thing I wanted to do though was protect these $10,000 painted stripes, because this is the first Mustang ever that has painted stripes, and they're again super expensive. I didn't want to drive this car because I was afraid of damaging it. So right away, we got this car PPF'd. I'm just so happy about that. Even the wing is PPF'd. The full car is protected, which is awesome, completely awesome. It gives me the confidence of driving it on the street because I'm not going to damage anything, right? Who wants to damage this wing right here? So after all those years, we finally made it to the racetrack to finally experience what this car is going to be all about. And if you saw that video, I mean, it just showed how amazing this car is on the racetrack. I mean, it felt like it was glued to the road. I've never felt a car with this much horsepower drive the way this car did. Exiting corners, full throttle, the thing just hooks up and goes. It's like from another world. It gives you that confidence that you need. Plus going fast, getting on the brakes, the entire car just slows down so well. For that first day out there, it was an amazing experience. I mean, I truly understood that this was the ultimate Mustang ever made. However, things changed right after that. We did get a good time. We got a 1:29 lap time, which is like a second off the actual lap record for a 500 track pack, which is really cool thinking about it. After my first few sessions, that was when I noticed something pretty strange. The performance started going downhill pretty fast. From there though, I started getting off the track and looking around the car and going, is there something up? Is the car acting strange because the tire wear or something? So when I got out of the car during my first day out, I noticed that the outer sidewall for the front tires were starting to go away really quickly. And I thought to myself, you know what? I've never experienced tires get deteriorated that quickly before. Like the C8 Corvette we've gone to 6 track days with it, and the tires look almost brand new. I did put on the track camber settings recommended by Ford, which is well over -2 degrees, which is a lot, and that still didn't really help. But the tire life, it looks like there's still plenty of life left because there are these special indicators that are really deep, and the tires looked fine. So I thought to myself, let's go ahead and sign up for our second track day with the GT 500 track pack. And from there, that is where I've come to my final opinion about this car. I went out first thing in the morning, great conditions, the track looked great, no one went off, there was no oil spills, nothing like that. But the car wasn't acting right. It was spinning all over the place. I couldn't get on the power. I stopped actually having fun with the car. Session after session, I was playing around with it. I was trying to figure out, well, what if the tire pressure is not right? It's 36 PSI hot is what Ford recommends for the best grip. And session after session, I made sure that I always was nailing tire pressure. So the tire pressure was perfect. Here's what I've learned. I've talked to all the Track Pack GT 500 owners that I know, also people who track the Track Packs like thoroughly, as hard as they possibly can. What I found out was that these Cup 2s, they're not normal Cup 2s. These aren't the same ones that you would probably find on most other vehicles equipped with Cup 2s. These are extra sticky Cup 2s made for that glory lap. They're not really the Cup 2s that you find on track cars that you go to the track over and over again with. They're not like the R. The R you can go to multiple track days with, and the tires are pretty much fine. You can enjoy the car for a much longer period of time. This won't do that. If you go to the track with the Track Pack and even drive right, I mean like not fight the wheel too much, and you drive this car pretty hard, your tires are going to be gone after a day. That is if you drive 10 tenths, 9 tenths, even probably 8 tenths. You really notice it. The tire wear is so much that I can't justify spending almost $2,000 on tires to give you, really great high-speed track content for this vehicle. I can't do it. And let's say that I do keep this car and continue tracking it, and I change the tires every track day. Well, I'm also dealing with the gas. Every session, every 20-minute session, I'm going from a full tank to an almost empty tank, and I'm struggling to get to the local gas station to fill it back up. So after every session, I'm filling back up the car with gas, and that really adds up after every track day, because I'm doing that not once, not twice. If it's 4 sessions or 5 sessions in a day, I'm filling this car up probably 4 or 5 times. That's a lot. And I mean, I've never had a car that goes through gas as quickly as this. This is what I've learned about this car. It's not exactly your track day car. This is made for that hot lap, those ultimate time attack laps to show what Mustang can do. This is the fastest Mustang ever, and the way Ford put it together was that they engineered that the stickiest tires available for that fast lap. But after that, it is not a cost-effective car to own if you want to go to the racetrack with a Shelby. If that is your intention, I would highly recommend buying a GT350 or an R, because on my second track day, I stopped having fun. I'd have more fun tracking the R, and it's nothing against this car. This car is amazing. I love it. But it's just not, it's not the car for me. 760 horsepower, if I can get that unlocked. Here we go with the painted stripes. I mean, this car, I can look at it all day. And that comes to my next point. In my opinion, this is like a perfect car for the car collector or just the average Shelby owner. If you're an average track day goer, an average driver, you're probably never going to experience this car going through a full tank of gas in a single session or burning through the tires. But if you're a high-level driver, that being if you want to drive as hard as you possibly can, this becomes extremely expensive to own. So at one point you're buying a $120,000 Mustang, but then after that, every track day or every 2 track days, you're paying $2,000 in tires, right? You're paying hundreds of dollars in gas. It just doesn't work out. Like, I'd have more enjoyment, I think, driving a different vehicle, trying to improve myself. And it's not just about changing the tires and putting in more gas. It's also the inconvenience, because when you buy a track car, you also are looking for endurance. The increased wear factor is probably going to get to you. That's just my honest opinion. And also talking to all the track pack owners that I know of who track their cars, they've also told me the same thing. So if you are a hardcore person who wants to track, I would recommend like a 350 instead. That is a Mustang. However, I do want to say, I love this car right here. It is without a doubt the ultimate Mustang ever made. And Ford did a phenomenal job with this car. If you bought it, you would love it. Ford answered the call with this vehicle. They took the R, they exposed the carbon fiber wheels, they put on much more downforce, the same wing from the GT4 Racer. They gave us painted stripes, which look phenomenal on this vehicle. Also, the craziest hood vent you could possibly imagine, with a wide body front end, crazy downforce, and also the most horsepower ever in a production Mustang. 760 horsepower, more horsepower than a Ford GT. With that dual clutch transmission, you get the fastest shifting ever. It's made for the drag strip and the racetrack. And by doing all that, they made this car into a 10-second drag racer and also a time attack car. So what am I getting at right now? This car is unbelievable. I am also going to be parting with it. It was a phenomenal experience so far. I'm really grateful to everyone who helped me get this car. However, it's not the vehicle for me. In my opinion, this is the best combo for this vehicle. The Heritage Blue, which is only available with the Track Pack GT500 and also other Ford performance vehicles. Not all Mustangs can get this color combo to be exact, with the white painted stripes. I got it fully PPF'd, everything. I do want to sell this car to a viewer of the channel, because I want to find a good home. And no, I'm not going to make a profit off this car, I'm making a buck off it, nothing like that. I'm selling it for what I have in it. So I just want to find this car a good home. If you are interested, please reach out to me at thespeedphenom@gmail.com. Like I said numerous times in this video, this car is amazing. I want to thank everyone who helped me get this car. However, finally having it and experiencing what it's truly like, although I am beyond impressed with it. We had so much fun with GT500s in general on this channel. At the same time, it's not the car for me. I hope you understand that. And if you are a track day goer, you probably do. I do want to be ultra clear though. I have 2 track days on the GT500 track pack. The first track day was a ton of fun. It hooked up. The second track day was pretty much a wash. I have never done a burnout with it, nothing like that. And most of the miles have really just all been freeway miles. Everything that was worn on this car is the initial layer of tire, the gasoline, and then a tiny bit of the brake pad. But look at the brake pads, they look brand new still. So I guess I wasn't braking hard enough. Anyways, though, I want to find this car a good home. And again, I am not going to be making a profit off this car. I am going to be selling it for what I have in it. Also, if you think me getting rid of this car is me moving away from the Mustang world and just taking a step away, that is not true. I'm a major Mustang fan. We have so many friends who have GT500s and Super Snakes and even track packs. We're always going to be getting content with this vehicle. This car will always be special to me. It really will. But at the same time, for what I want to do, it's just not exactly the car for me. So that is why I will be selling it. But anyways, though, I want to thank all of you for your amazing support, especially when it came to getting this car. I could have done without all of your help. So I do want to find this car the best home possible. That's just, you know, in all reality, right? I want to thank you again for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. It does help me out. Also, let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think about selling this car? Is it a good idea? I know that it's a really hard car to get. Once I sell it, I probably won't be able to get another one. Please let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think about all of this? I really do want to hear what all of you have to say. Make sure to subscribe for all the updates, what's going on next. Thanks for watching again. I'll see all of you in the next episode.